everyone, I'm Madonna, this is David, and we're here for your tip of the day.
Right, what's the tip of the day today?
So we've just done a little video, went a bit long, sorry about that, everyone. I obviously got into my emotional gear. You've got to look at your emotions.
Right.
So what's underneath the thing actually going on?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we have a fight at work, it's not about the thing we have a fight about. If we have a fight at home, it's not about what the thing is going on about.
Often.
So it's often about something else that's underneath something else.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it about? So how do you find out what's in underneath something?
Well, it's good to name them. Like anger's a really good one. Okay, so because with anger, it's nearly always a secondary emotion.
Yes.
And often so anger's in a positive context, it's meant to go against anything that violates love.
Yes.
Right. So anything we put above love actually probably deserves a bit of anger. Except the problem with anger is that it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people do the things that people do that are more really abusive and manipulative, lying and this and that. But anger is a really base load emotion.
Yes.
And it's usually a secondary emotion with another emotion under it.
Yes.
And if you can find those underneath emotions, it's really helpful, and name them.
Yeah, and one of the techniques is to do automatic writing.
Right.
So you just sit down in a quiet space and think, man, I'm freaking annoyed at David, man, what is that? So you just start writing.
Well, I'm a bit of an idiot. I'm an easy target.
No, so you just start writing. And you're like, well, why do I feel that? And then you just keep writing. And then well, why do I feel like that? Is there anyone who's ever made me feel like that? And you keep writing. And then finally you go, he reminds me of my teacher in grade 4, and my teacher in grade 4 used to say this to me with that tone of voice. So therefore, when David uses that tone of voice, it makes me feel like this when I was 10 years old.
Well, that's one thing it can be. But a more simple way is just say something. We were talking before, people can watch the other video where you were feeling
invalidated.
Yeah, but you were angry about that, right?
Yeah.
But what's the real feeling underneath? So invalidation is an idea, but what's the feeling? Frustration or sadness?
Oh, definitely sadness.
So
about
sadness.
the world, about the way the world has been the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
and what I'm seeing in my clients.
So sadness. What are the really deeper? Because there's some deep emotions connected with that.
Well, despair.
Okay,
sort of needing to self-censor.
Right.
So I've never had to self-censor so much in my life.
Right. So here we have some going under the anger. We've got sadness and say them again.
Despair.
See, sadness and despair and frustration, those feelings under it. Except because anger might be used as a plea for being heard, you actually get bashed for the anger.
Yeah.
Which means that you automatically get bashed for the feelings underneath it.
Right.
And that's what the problem is that the secondary thing we're doing is not necessarily even just trying to argue with people logically.
Yeah.
When you get put down and invalidated, the emotions underneath get invalidated.
Yeah, okay.
Which is what the really hard part is.
Yeah.
Is that because it's hard to process that.
Yeah.
It's easier to work with ideas, like you can, you're having an argument or, a strong discussion.
Yeah.
But what's underneath it is these really strong emotions, because as practitioners, we're actually really concerned for people. Yeah. And it's like it's a real thing that you develop in your that actually you really care about your clients and this and that. And it's like, but if your opinion's invalidated, they're invalidating the fact that you're caring.
Yeah.
Even because they're dealing with the intellectual thing and being hard as well. But the feelings underneath are invalidated with the idea. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So I would, so one of the tips of the day is, maybe do some journaling. Do some journaling.
All journaling is good.
Yeah, whether it's gratitude journaling, whether it's forgiveness journaling, whether or not it's just a prayer before you go to bed, a prayer when you wake up, to sort of put out some love and peace and, healing out there into the world.
And, another interesting thing is if you can get under, because in the language we argue and we this and that, but if you can get under those and express them to our people, we might have a person or our people, and we say it's much easier for people to accept when you're saying feelings rather than ideas.
Right. Yes.
You can argue with an idea, but it's really hard to argue with someone who says, I'm feeling really sad.
That's true. So hope that helps. Tip of the day. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.